Those in my inner intellectual circle know that I have no problem acknowledging that black and brown, literally brown, people inhabited pre-colonial and ancient America. These black and brown people met Europeans at the North and South American shores each time they arrived. Many people falsely believe that we are saying we were here before the European escaped their continental prison because we are ashamed of our African ancestry. Those of us that study history with an open mind know that there was an ongoing pre-colonial and ancient relationship between Africans and inhabitants of the Americas. How could we be ashamed of our own family when we are fully aware of the greatness of our people on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean? We have not only tapped into our genetic memory bank, but we've also diligently studied the words of explorers and historians that lived centuries before us. We are not so naive to believe everything we read, but using our own analytical skills we can also come to conclusions that bring us closer to the truth. Today, I want to share a few excerpts from a book that will remain nameless for the moment. The author of this book can't help but show his white supremacist tendencies in the very contradiction of his own words. While on one hand he shares his admiration for the accomplishments of the Ethiopians, on the other hand he goes so far as to say that the Ethiopians are neither African nor black. If you study history without understanding the psychopathic racial personality, as laid down by Dr. Bobby Wright, you will be utterly confused. Anyway, the following is the excerpt that explains the possibility of ancient Ethiopian contact with ancient America. The people known to us as Phoenicians were preeminent as the colonizing navigators of antiquity. They were an enlightened and enterprising maritime people, whose commerce traversed every known sea, and extended its operations beyond the Pillars of Hercules into the great exterior. The early Greeks called them Ethiopians and said they went everywhere, establishing their colonies and their commerce in all the coast regions, from the extreme east to the extreme west. But the great ages of this people are in the distant past, far beyond the beginning of what we call history. History has knowledge only of a few of their later communities, the Sabines of southern Arabia, the Phoenicians, and the Carthaginians. It is not difficult to believe that communities of the Phoenician or Ethiopian race were established all around the Mediterranean, and even beyond the Strait of Gibraltar, in ages quite as old as Egypt or Chaldea, and that they had communication with America. Why did the ancients say so much of a great continent beyond the Atlantic if nobody in the prehistoric ages had ever seen that continent? This ancient belief must have been due to Phoenician or Ethiopian communication with America in earlier times, which was imperfectly recollected, or perhaps never completely revealed to other nations, and this must have taken place at a very remote period. So, as you just heard, even historians hell bent on white supremacy, perhaps unwittingly, at times share the truth of black accomplishments the world over. As I've said many times before, I am no doubt of African descent, but I am also indigenous to what is now called the southeastern United States. If I go back to Africa, I'll be home. If I stay here, I'll be home. Make no mistake about it. This article was written by Daku Akabo wa Akatu.